I'm with Kevin Knight here. We have AEW All In Texas coming up this weekend. Uh, you are in line for a pretty big match on the card. JetSpeed is going to be contending for the AEW tag team titles on the show. I do want to get into the match, but first I kind of wanted to talk about how you and Speedball Mike Bailey linked up. I've kind of enjoyed reading a lot of the feedback about how you guys have been received, how Jet Speed's been received. Uh, I mean, people would call this a makeshift tag team, I guess. And I think uh, Mike even told Renee Paquette when he did an interview with her, like, it was kind of a random pairing, but you guys stuck together because of the vibes you had with each other. Can you just speak to like your feelings of being put in a tag team and how it's, do you share those feelings about vibes is what brought you guys closer together? Like, just talk to me about how it's been going so far and, maybe if your opinion's changed about being in a ta tag team again.
Man, it's been dope ever since that 8-man money match I think we had a few weeks ago. And yeah, me and Speedball been on the same page ever since. And it's me and Speedball, he brings the best out of me, I bring the best out of him. We have a lot of history from our old TNA days, even our New Japan at the All-Star Festival, actually like 2 years ago at the same time. So Speedballs is very knowledgeable in wrestling, and I'm always looking to learn. So being able to have a tag team partner that's so knowledgeable, so open to spit knowledge, and getting me um more out of my shell too as well. He has his vlog every week. Every week about 2 times during the tapings, he was like, "Yeah, let's go vlog, let's go talk to the people." So it's very much a cool, it's all around cool experience. He met my family last week and everything, so me and Speedball definitely have a natural connection off the vibes, how you would describe it.
Yeah. And, it, for better or worse, it's been like the makeshift team or the random team. There's been successful ones. There's been ones that are just like, oh, they're put together just to feud. Uh, but you mentioned you guys have history not only in Japan but in TNA. I thought that was an interesting thing too because you guys were opponents I'm pretty sure the entire time you were working in TNA, especially being a part of the X division. So what's it like trying to get to not only work with him, but you're on the same page, finding ways that you can make a better unit. Obviously, you guys want to go after gold, but what's it been like just trying to sort of build off of that vibe, that initial vibe that brought you guys together?
Or the biggest thing is I just want to stay on Speedball's good side because I've been on the receiving end of those kicks and I don't want to be on that other side again. So me and Speedball are gonna stay like this for my best interest, for my face's best interest. Um, so outside of that reasoning, it's been pretty easy. Like he comes with ideas, I come with ideas, and we're both just like we just want to do cool stuff. And Speedball has such a great mind for putting things together. So it's pretty easy keeping those vibes going, and we joke around a lot. We observe. We're both very new to the AEW locker room, so we stick together in that aspect. Trying to learn how things operate, and yeah, we're just in it together. We're stronger together than we are apart. So I keep that in mind.
Another interesting dynamic that I kind of thought of when you re-entered the tag team division. You teamed with Kushida when you were breaking out in New Japan, and you adopted some of his look, like you wore the shades and a few different subtle elements, but now you're finding your way, not by yourself, but you're finding your identity as Kevin Knight, but also as Jet Speed. So are there any things that Kushida kind of maybe not taught you directly, but some things that you picked up on where you can show that you're a team with Bailey without having it be like, writing Jet Speed all over your gear or, being very in your face about it?
Yeah, everything is about subtlety, right? So, Yeah, Kushida is a multi-time tag team partner, multi-time ROH TV champion and IWGP Junior Heavyweight champion. So he knows how to carry himself, period. He knows how to, you don't get that far without knowing how to work with other people. So Kushida is a master at knowing how to work with other people and highlighting other people's strengths. He understands storytelling and playing off of that factor. So with us, with me finding my identity, and with us finding our identity as a tag team, JetSpeed, that is, it's just being good co-workers, knowing how to work with each other. Getting to know each other outside of wrestling as well helps. So we have regular conversations, and then when it's time to work, it's time to work. So yeah, Kushida definitely taught me a lot just in how to carry myself and just how to work well with others, highlighting each other's strengths. That's the biggest thing.
I did say I want to talk about the match coming up. It's a three-way match for the tag team titles. It's
Yeah.
the Hurt Syndicate defending against Jet Speed, and the Patriarchy is the other team in that match. The Hurt Syndicate has been on a roll lately. Beating just about everybody that they come up against. What's it like for you, who really is at you're at the start of your career, you're a few years in, but you have guys like Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. I'll include MVP, but also Christian Cage is another guy that, 20 plus years in the business. What's it like getting a chance to work with them and uh, sort of, you know, not make your name off of them, but just kind of putting yourself in that conversation and, you know, perhaps getting a chance to be a tag team champion after you get a chance to work with these guys?
Right. I grew up watching all of these guys. So I feel like I'm actually at an advantage coming into the ring with them because I know all of their moves. I know all of their tendencies. I know what they're good at. I know what they're not good at. And you say I get to work with them. I always flip it on my head that they're working with me. They may not know too much about me and Speedball. They may not know what we're really about. So that gives us an upper hand in my book that we get to catch them off guard with whether that's a promo or having a strategy in the ring. And they're at more years behind them than they do in front of them. So I feel like me and Speedball have a youthful advantage over these other teams. Nick Wayne is still can't even legally drink yet. So his frontal lobe's not even fully developed. So me and Speedball definitely have that advantage. So I keep everything positive, and that's how I look at all of these teams. And Hurt Syndicate, they're tough and they're not backing down from nobody, but neither is me and Speedball. So we love being um, uh, taken lightly. We love being overlooked because that's when we're gonna smash them right in the mouth because they have no idea what's gonna hit them. So it's a um, it's a great problem to have for me and Speedball.
Were you a gamer when you were like, whether you were a kid or are you now? Because you're talking about knowing their moves, and it's like you can watch them on TV, but I'm also picturing like you learn their move sets that way. Was that ever something like you were into?
Oh yeah, most definitely the old SmackDown versus Raws. WrestleMania 19, that was my game. So I definitely have a lot of experience, especially working against Christian because I was a big Hardy guy.
Mhm.
So I know exactly, what he likes to do, what he doesn't like to do. So not too much of a gamer now, but that's still stuck in my memory. It's still stuck in
Yeah. And one other cool thing about the event this weekend, it's a matinee show. Goes on 3 p.m. Uh, like I just want to say, can we normalize more daytime shows? Like that's got to be an
Can
exciting
we
thing.
please?
You're not waiting all day. Like you get to go on and perform earlier in the day. You can maybe even enjoy it a little bit more afterwards. Like are you a fan of maybe making this a bit more of a normal thing?
I think there's pros and cons to having an early and a later show because yes, just like you said, we can enjoy the show afterwards and everything. But the call time is going to be super early. You got to have your morning coffee, your morning tea, whatever wakes you up, and the day just get started a lot earlier. There may not be any time to hit the gym. There may not be any time to get your morning routine right. But you do get the luxury of enjoying and relaxing after. So I think there's pros and cons to having middle of the day show and a nighttime show as well. So
What when people I mentioned a bunch of stuff like you started off in Japan, you've been in Impact, you're now in AEW, potential tag team champion. There's a lot of things that come up when people hear about Kevin Knight. Is there something that you want people to focus on more, or maybe just something you kind of would like to talk about more?
um, anything is open. Um, anytime I'm on camera, anytime I'm doing these type of things, it's an opportunity just for people to see me as I am, as a character, as a person. So it's just an opportunity to sell myself. So anytime I'm doing a vlog with Speedball, doing any other type of media, just an opportunity for people just to see me and learn about me. This the Jet Kevin Knight is multifaceted. I'm not just a wrestler. I'm also many other things. So um, I would like people to know and understand that. You know what I mean? Wrestling is definitely my job. It pays the bills, but there's so much behind closed doors. You know. Soon they'll be able to see. Maybe I might start a vlog, something like that.
Now I'm gonna try to make you be a food reviewer. I want you.
My favorite part.
You gave a number, you gave a 10 out of 10, but I want you to rate the wings at Magic City. I want like the full description, why they're the
Full
best, why
description.
you have to go there.
Man, big reason why there's a wide range of flavors that they have. It's not just plain hot honey barbecue. They got all flavors for all palates. They got that plus the hot honey garlic, plus the garlic parmesan, plus the teriyaki, plus the whatever else, sweet and sour, and many more. And every single sauce that they do is to the T. It's not like they half-ass and some spots are good at the sweet sauces and they're not too good at the other ones, but they're good at every other flavor that you give them. And they're coming out crispy, they're coming out hot, it's not soggy, and they complement the fries perfectly. To
Mhm.
me, that's a great trait. The fries got to be able to match the wings. You know what I mean? And once you get that combination, then you get the full experience, entertainment outside of the food. It's 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
That's an important thing to remember with the wings. They got to be crispy. Even
Got
when
to be crispy.
from crispy, like no, like leave them in there a little bit longer. No matter if you think they're done, give them a few more seconds.
Throw them back in there.
So safe to say you are confident going into the weekend. You said you like being underestimated. Did you start scouting victory celebration venues in the Dallas area?
Not quite, not quite. I always take things day by day, brick by brick, moment by moment. So, I have a few spots in mind because I've been to Dallas a couple of times, but we got to get the match done first. Once the match is done and that gold is wrapped around our waist, then I can start thinking about it. But my mind is focused on this match. I haven't had any interaction with Christian yet in person, so we need to strategize. We need to strategize, see where he's coming from. Because the Hurt Syndicate, they've been putting it on us on the last couple of weeks, so we just gotta have that chance for our comeuppance.
All right. Well, like you said, we got to get through the weekend first. We'll maybe see Sunday morning if you're in a celebrating mood, but any closing remarks before we close this out?
Man, just like I said on Twitter a couple of days ago, after beating Shelton Benjamin in that triple threat over and Nick Wayne as well, you can call me. And after this Saturday, you might as well start calling the Jet not only the one you look up to, not only to fly, but the new gold standard.
All right. I like it. Taking his mantle away from him. All right. Thank you very much and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.